Good evening, ladies and I must eyes for my the podcast that is fortunately our second to last one. We're gonna do one more to finalize the season because there is 1 week we get into the final week of fantasy baseball. Let's break down the week that was. Week 24 saw two matchups, one between Nick and Shane and Josh and Walker. And the Josh and Walker matchup was down to the wire. Did not leave us dismayed or disappointed. By the way, this episode is brought to you by Jameson and Sprite. Jameson Orange and Sprite. That's a damn good drink. But before we get into the championship bracket, let's break it down for us not worthy people. Myself and Mandalorians faced off against one another, and basically it went down to the weekend that Mandalorians just took over, took control, and won that bit, winning 8-4. Hitman and Bucketheads also faced off, and wouldn't you know it, their final score was 8-4. Rafer decided, you know what, last place is where I want to be, and to take 11th. Hey, you're not lost, my friend. And swinging low dominated. And I say dominated. 11-0 Fernando to place Fernando promptly in sixth place, and swinging low Eric at fifth. Trippin' Billies and bench warmers, again, like I said, they were facing off against Nick and Walker. I don't know why I had a brain fart. Brain fart there, Walker. I apologize for that one. Blah, blah, blah. Here we go. Let's break it down. Shane and Nick faced off against one another. This is a matchup that Shane was definitely not exactly excited about, but based off of, I believe, the last matchup Shane took, and this one was close. Trippin' Billy's facing Nick 38-38 in the runs. He beat him by 2 home runs. They were not very close in RBIs. 12. He won 12-9 in the stolen bases. The average in OBP went that way of Nick. 3-6 in the wins, 63-45 in strikeouts. The ERA and the WHIP were way too high. 2 points over in the ERA for Shane over Nick. Quality starts went that way of Nick as well, 6-2 and 3 apiece for both of these gentlemen in saves plus holds. Last week, Ronald Acuna Jr. and Luis Robert Jr. carried that team, which was Shane's. It's kind of funny how I talked about Luis Robert before the week that was, and looky there. He ended up carrying a lot of the load, and then he goes to the IL for Shane. So that was a problem. Spread out across the board was Bohm, Riamuto, Kyle Tucker, and Jordan Alvarez. Didn't see much from Mookie Betts, Bobby Witt Jr., Jose Altuve got some hits and some runs, and Mark Canha, of all people, helping Milwaukee get into the playoffs. Talk about that in a minute too. Or woo, carry, but bury Shane. And week to week, that this goes. But and Nick proved that Luis Castillo is probably the biggest name who recent IL sent to Max Fried. This is for the Braves, by the way. Head guy is Sir Strider. Morton went to the IL. Max Fried to the IL. But ultimately, Nick took care of business, did what needed to be done. I'm not sure if there was an oops in this match. Guys, to I'm in for your oops pop. Oops, was there some runs? Some runs. Let me see. Team up and see if you left stats on the bench. Here we go. Shane O'Mac. Shane. Where the team, Shane? How do I get to your stat, Shane? All right, so there's Tuesday. My laptop's running a little slow. I did not plug it back in after last week's show and left it dead. And therefore, I had to charge it. That was not cool. By the way, while I have this time back in time, I would like to give a shout out to one Rayford Peaches. Today is her and I. And so, wherever you are, Ray, cheers. She says she's in the living room, but is she really? Is she really? I think I need to put this over here. We don't have a cup holder over here. Oh, yes, we do. That. Look at that. Getting water everywhere. Condensation. Shane, first. Boy, this is good. No, there's not really a lot of batters. Look at that. Ronald Acuna handling business for you. Lars Nootbaar. Gotcha. Some base and a run that would have won you a stat. Now, again, obviously, probably left some stats on the bench, but he knew. Why would you not play your Cardinal hero? Why? Then you played him the next day, and he did hook you up. Giancarlo Stanton. You made the right decision on that day. Here we go. Here. Lars went 0 for 4. Excuse me. You appeared to be top of your pitching game for September 22nd. Was not the matchups of the week. I mean, why not? They were the championship matchups. So, yeah. Any stats? You left it all out there. You played your best game. You're still taking the L, sir. Maybe playing pitchers. Shane, unfortunately, does not win the title. Facing off against one Christopher for third place. Now, on the flip side, we had like do y'all play Yahoo football and baseball up in trying to get you last week's matchup for Christopher Walker for whatever reason letting me like what the hell. That's what we're talking about. We want week 25. 25. I don't want my matchup. I want all of those matchups. Where are they? There we go. All right. So Josh defeats in a very, very, very tight matchup. 6-5. And this one, woo. 37-30 in the run side and home runs, 26-21 in the RBIs. Very 5 to starts and saves. Carried one walk, 5 points, none from the batting. And let's see, Mr. Walker, if you had a new of the week. Because a matchup that close, sweet Marion Joseph. All right. So we're going to guess that button to mark. Again, bear with me. Computer is running a little today. And Taylor Swift out of this podcast as much as possible, as we know that those two names have been shoved down your world for the past, I don't know, 48 hours, 72 hours, however long, about tired. Travis Kelce. You got stats wherever you could. But boom. Tuesday. Walker, walking like a pimp. Up in there. Of the week. And that was for my God. What a huge seeing any kitchen. So yeah, I'm not gonna see a missed. Yeah, nobody. Walker didn't walk out of that oops either. Yeah, so I gotta say the oops fall to the fact that you drive De La Cruz had that close of stats in stolen bases, and I guess you were trying to beat him in pitching. You did, but you forget the one key element. There's two aspects of this game, sir. And yeah, so that's you're pretty sure I'm right. Jason, here we go. Elliot is B Walker making you pay. That young man's gotten 33 stolen bases already. Oh yeah, so he 2 on the 23rd and 2 on the 22nd, 4 over the weekend. That would have definitely earned the odds for sure. And let's see if that affected Ray. No. I mean, he won the 3 on the stolen bases. So, yeah, I'm going to have to say it's a managerial. You dropped a play that ultimately could you the stat. What the and look back, and I don't want to take up any more UP lovely time because my computer is running so freaking slow. But I've hit the panic button 2 weeks ago. So disappointing. It's crazy. Promise. We're gonna circle. It's like a circle. My goodness. I love it. It's ridiculous. I don't have anything even good authority to have. Do you guys like my new back? Boom. Excuse me. I don't know what's going on, people, but I can tell you the matchup of the week is between the number 1 and the number 2 team that to defender of that I've ever come across. And really believing that he is going to keep the Franklin up in St. Louis. While we wait for this damn making any progress that way, I believe the playoff will be on postseason. It's old. I mean, are we still these last games decide who is going? Just seeing that the stage, the Astros are going this. I don't know what's going on with Yahoo. The page is no longer working. People, I apologize. Okay. Standings between now and then, the postseason starts. Here's what the playoff picture looks like heading into Tuesday's game. Who holds the postseason tiebreaker? Astros at Twins, Blue Jays at Rays, Orioles at Rangers have buys. NL Wild Card East, best of 3 format. Phillies, Braves at have buys. Said or not, since here's a look at a few examples. Here's come in. The Braves have clinched. Dodgers have clinched West. Brewers have clinched postseason berth. Orioles and Rays. Who is next? The Orioles, Magic. 3 to clinch the East. Watch lead the Rays. Rangers lead the Astros. So, am I reading it correctly that the stage is set? It's just who's playing for the wild card. The Reds are still 6. D-backs, Astros, Cubs, and Marlins. Okay. Apparently it's not set. But as of right now, if it were to, this would play the Twins. That was flip-flop from yesterday from what I've seen. Tampa Bay, the Orioles and Texas would be waiting. The Rangers. Cubs would play the Mariners. Diamondbacks would play the Phillies, while the Braves Dodgers would wait. Huh. Very interesting. There's play for, I guess, for those guys. But in our world, there's only one week, and that is between Josh and Nick. Congratulations to you two fine gentlemen for making it back here. I wouldn't necessarily prove that having a bye is worthwhile. Last week, especially for Josh, it wasn't easy. But the first team to end the race and second team will face off against each other. So, like I said, it has been proven that he has won it before, will win it again. Now it's up to send that shit postage. Beans or Brian. All right. All of us thing. All right. Now I will end this stream right